Hello, guys. This is Dr. Lior Bar-El, and due to my previous posts about WWE products and so on and so forth, the game on the Switch, a lot of you guys wrote to me and you told me what did I think of, in general about what's going on in the WWE today. First off, I'm going to get into that, and you guys also asked me, what do I think about the Hardy Boys splitting up? Was it a good move by Vince McMahon? Was it a good move by the WWE, organization for doing that right after getting the Hardy Boys back? Now, I know some of you guys might not like to hear some things, but I'm going to just say it anyway. I'm going to tell you I am 38 years old, so I come from the era of, obviously, the Attitude Era. And I don't think anything could compare to the Attitude Era. I just don't think the writers are as good. I don't think the matches are the same. Yeah, now we got some ladies matches and stuff like that. Like, the ladies fighting that looks much better than it did, obviously, way before. They actually got girls that can fight more than just girls who look good, on camera. So I do like that. I think that's a good change for it. The only thing is I just don't see anything as good as it was in the Attitude Era. Obviously, there's some changes there. But now I think they're trying to make it again, because it was like kind of flat for a while. They're going against steroids. They're going against that, even though I know many of them, including Triple H, obviously uses steroids. But I think they suddenly kind of shifted out of these lightweights playing as heavyweights, and now they're trying to get more deeper. They called Brock Lesnar back. They called, even though he fights only a little bit here and there, and just like selective matches, kind of like The Undertaker did for a while back, years, I don't know, like 5, 6, 7 years ago. But they have their fighters now coming back slowly, and they're trying to make it like sort of an Attitude Era. I'm going to tell you, my favorite match overall has to be, I had many favorite matches in the WWE. I also when it was WWF, but sorry, got caught off. So like my favorite part was the tables, ladders, and chairs match with the Hardy Boys, obviously. My favorite Hardy Boys moments were usually when they were in the Brood with Gangrel, just like Edge and Christian, when they were in the old Brood or whatever, the Brood, when they used to, that entrance was, until now, one of my, actually is my favorite entrance of all time. I really dug it. I really loved it. And then when the Hardy Boys took over, and then afterwards, the best TLC match ever, I think, was the Hardys versus Edge and Christian versus the Dudley Boys on a three-way. It was freaking phenomenal. Seeing those ladder matches and how they're falling off it, like these huge ladders, and going out of the ring and falling through tables and stuff like that. This is what the video game market, they try to do it, and then these guys actually did it. And it was amazing. It was incredible. Now, you guys asked me if I think it was a good move on WWE to do such a thing, especially because it's so soon. They just brought the Hardy Boys back. It became very nostalgic. Everybody liked it. But guys, I ask you guys to think about something here. Are the Hardy Boys the same as they were before? Sure, they're doing the same kind of moves. They're pulling it off, but they're not the same age. Okay, as a 38-year-old, I could tell you I was a fighter. I retired 33-0, and I was I was fighting in independent circuits. Just regular matches in Gold's Gym and stuff like that. And we used to have community fights and stuff like that. And I used to operate. And I could tell you, even though wrestling, is entertainment industry is not really real. It's all scripted. It is, they are getting hurt. Every time you hit that mat, no matter how soft that mat is, even though it's not that soft, I'm telling you, but let's say you felt it was, even if it was on a bed, no matter how many times you fall, you need to recover. Your body needs to recover. And you could be on creatine all you want. As you age, it becomes harder and harder for you to pull off these moves. And to see Jeff Hardy doing a Swanton Bomb at the age of like 43 is amazing. I could still do most of my flips, most of my things, but now you got to ask yourself a question. What's going to happen when he's 50? Will he be able to pull that off? Will he be able to be as charismatic as he is in the age of 60, or so on and so forth? What is exactly their strength? So I think what Vince McMahon did when he paired up Woken Matt and Bray Wyatt, I think they look good together. It doesn't look like it's going to last for long. Obviously, I think Bray's going to turn on him. But the thing is, I understand why he did that. He sees Jeff Hardy as a remember, Vince McMahon's a businessman. He sees him as a marketing agent. He can market this man in a solo competition. After all, he won the title in TNA. If you guys can remember that, he won it in TNA. He was, one of the favorites out there. And to be honest, I think he still got it to play in the divisions as a solo fighter. And I think now they're going to induct him obviously in the Hall of Fame. You obviously know that's coming, and I just have a feeling, I mean, it's a rumor, but I have a feeling this is what's going to happen in Money in the Bank. He is going to win. Jeff Hardy is going to win the Money in the Bank. Now I do think that that's what Vince McMahon is doing. He split the team just for that reason, I think, to take Jeff into a solo and to see how far he can go with him, like TNA did, and so on and so forth. He was extremely popular, Jeff Hardy, if you guys remember, in TNA, and I think that he would do the same in the WWE. He's still a fan favorite. Everybody loves him, and I think, to be honest with you, I don't know if it's a move I would have personally done. I think when they came back and they did the whole broken Matt thing and all of that stuff, I think that's what it should have been for a while. I think that whole, Matt Hardy, broken Matt was such a good angle in TNA. I just thought it would have been awesome to bring that into, the WWE. I mean, the best match I think I love with the Hardys, with broken Matt, that is of course, against the match against Decay. And pretty much it was like they brought that same kind of essence into WWE. I would have loved to see Decay actually fighting in the WWE on a more professional looking level, because they still need work on their fighting skills, obviously. But it was just so awesome to see something like that, and I think they can go somewhere with it. But, to automatically terminate it and say, okay, well, you guys are going to be now separate and we're going to go solo, I think it had to do more with the age factor. I think Vince, wants him to still do these flips, still do these incredible aerials and stuff, and he just doesn't see, if he keeps them on the, on the tag team circuit, he doesn't see that happening down the line. Jeff could hurt himself. It's harder to recover at our age. Especially over 40, it's much harder to recover than you were in your 20s, early 20s. So these things are all taken into account, obviously, with the doctors and everything like that. He might have had a couple of matches where he saw that he was limping, he was doing stuff, it took him longer to recover. I think that's why Vince McMahon wanted to rush this as soon as possible. And to be honest, I mean, I don't think Vince is going to make a wrong decision on that end. I think he knows how to market him very well, and I just think that it's going to be a really good positive flow for the WWE to have that separation. Now, they can always come back, I mean, but let him have his solo career for a while. Matt obviously wasn't as attractive to that sort of solo way. He was always sort of like a tag team partner, sort of like Marty Jannetty and the Rockers. I know a lot of you guys, I just dated myself, but without Shawn, he was like somehow just loose. Except Matt has a lot of talent, so they didn't want to just kick him out. Matt has a lot of talent to bring to the table, and his whole broken Matt, I think, is amazing. And Awoken Matt, Awoken Matt, angle is incredible, and I just think it's so cool when they went on a fight against Ascension, and he goes, "That's wonderful." I just really like how he gets the whole crowd, rooting. I hope that WWE does something with him. I do think that Bray Wyatt is going to eventually fight with him, but to be honest, I just don't see him anywhere without Jeff Hardy, and he does have the power to be, remember version 1 and all of that. So he has the power to be a solo. He doesn't have the potential to be, let's say, as famous as like a world, heavy, even though none of them are heavyweights really, but as a heavyweight champion or whatever, as a WWE champion, let's put it that way. So that, as a cruiserweight, as USA, as all of these other titles, I see him doing that, and I think he's going to pull off great things on that. But Jeff Hardy is someone you market on a higher level. you know, on a much higher level on that. I think he has a lot of fans everywhere, especially when he had the Night Creatures, as they called them, and TNA. I mean, everybody freaking loved him, and I think it's just amazing. And I think that that's the angle Vince is working on. Personally, that's just my personal view on it. I know a lot of you guys said, oh, you thought it was too soon. They shouldn't have ever separated them, some of you guys said. But yeah, you got to take the H factor into account here. The H factor is he's only going to be doing that for a limited time, you know, for a limited amount of time anyway. Eventually, he's not going, you know, the flips and everything could be detrimental to his, you know, his health and stuff like that. It might be extremely hard for him to pull off certain moves, and he won't be able to do things as he used to do. I mean, let's face it, the guy is the master of the Swanton Bomb. That is his finishing move, and you know, in the Twist of Fate. But you know, to see him not do the Swanton Bomb anymore is kind of like defeats his, you know, his charismatic, you know, ability, is, you know, that high flying capacity and stuff. It just kind of dilutes him, makes him weaker, and so on and so forth. It's a very hard move to pull off at a certain age, and I think the fact that he still does it and smashes through tables and all these cool things, you got to take advantage of that and put him up as a solo. And then eventually, you know, he can, you know, once he's a little bit diluted and still wants to wrestle, they could always pair them back again as Matt and Jeff as the Hardy Boys. But, you know, they'll never be, obviously, as good as they were ages ago. I mean, like 20 years ago. And, wow, hard to believe it's 20 years, huh? It feels so dated. But 20 years ago, wow, time just flies by. But in the Attitude Era, just incredible. And I think that's the reason why they did what they did. That's just my 2 cents on it. Let me know what you guys think down below. I mean, I'm curious to hear what you guys think about this. But, you know, take all of these things into consideration and let me know what you guys think down below. Any other requests you have, let me know. I'll make a video, I'll release it, and I'll tell you guys what I personally feel about the subject. But I think it was a good move. It's a little sad. I would have probably waited another year before pulling off that thing so we could work a little bit more on the angle. But I think in TNA, a lot of us already got a big dose of obsolete delete. So to have that you know, coming into the WWE was awesome. But I think, you know, it is good to start to concentrate a little bit on his solo career. I mean, that's what I think. Anyways, let me know what you guys think down below. Have a good one, y'all. And as always, I'm self-funded in everything I do. The only way you guys can help me out is by liking this video, subscribing, and definitely hitting that bell button. As many more other reviews, talks, psychology, what do I do? All kinds of stuff, you know, gaming reviews, all that to come. And you know, in the following 3D printers, I'm working on a Star Killer series that I'm going to show you guys how to build a Star Killer helmet. A mini series on that, mini series on other things on how to build a computer. So definitely subscribe, hit the bell button, and you know, let me know what you guys think down below. I definitely want to hear what you guys think over everything. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye.